We went out to Indiana for the Hoosier Illini tournament, and we've played in a few tournaments so far, but mostly in single matches, so it was something to get used to, and a lot of the guys weren't at 100%. But we were able to just keep rolling with all our games, and even though some guys are out, next man up mentality is always the mentality on the team. So
this weekend was really a team effort this time. Josh Knapp always coming up big, definitely our best player on the team, but we had players like Tate Lapham who just showed up big this weekend. Had some really big swings, especially on the first day, and we rode his coattails all the way to victory on that day.
Adversity was kind of the word that I've been trying to use with the guys. We've played a lot this season and a lot of really solid teams and passed every test really well. We lost a set in the finals, which was awesome to see how we bounced back. I think the things that our coaching staff is trying to hammer is how do we respond when things get tough.
What Coach Caleb always preaches, the rankings that matter are the ones at the end of the year, because we could be the #1 team in the nation, but if we lose in the first round of gold at nationals, it doesn't really mean anything.
I would say that it's over the past 3 years. We had this thing happen called COVID, if you've never heard of it. But it's been kind of in the making over the past 3 years because we've been wanting to do this last year and the year before that. So we're kind of a lot of pent-up energy right now. And so I think and it's also most of our, I think 6 of the guys out of the 7 guys that play, it's our last year playing. So we're all leaving it on the court.
I think the ranking is really awesome. Like, we're honored by a high ranking, but trying to not really look much into it, especially in club volleyball. There could be a lot of good teams that we'll just never see until nationals, and it's not as much info to pull from as maybe like a NCAA basketball rankings or something. So it's great because we feel like we get other teams' best efforts because they want to upset a high-ranked team, but we talk about not really caring about our ranking until after nationals is finished. If we end the season ranked first, then we have something to celebrate, but otherwise it doesn't mean much. So we're just trying to use it as motivation to stay on the top of the ranks and handle what we can handle.
Honestly, the big things we have to worry about now are our conference tournament, which is going to be after spring break, and then East Coast, and then nationals. And we want to make sure that we keep the steam going so we can actually be hot when it happens, because a lot of teams, they'll be really good now and then not as good in the later half of the year. So we want to be peaking at the right moment, which is, all year, but we want to really start getting like intense right by conference so we can just continue to roll.
We're taking a little more time for kind of like spiritual and wellness check-ins and make sure that we're preparing for more adversity that comes our way, talking about the pressure that comes with being undefeated and playing as a top team in the country, talking about, if we do lose along the way, how are we going to respond? Let's not let it affect us beyond that moment, and know that we are solid on a foundation that we have built for the last 4 years.